for this beginners bootcamp. So I created a group on Telegram so that you can have access to the groups. So I've shared uh, the details with you guys so that you can join and watch the video in case you missed the class of yesterday. There's no how I was going to send such video on WhatsApp because of the space, and WhatsApp will compress the whole thing. So Telegram is the best place for the videos. That's why I created a channel and I dropped the video there. Right. So the video will always be there for you to access anytime you want to access it and watch it as much or as long as you want to. Okay. What else again? I dropped a link to the broker I trade with, so you can always try them out, test them, do your research, and then you can sign up with the link that was sent to you. Then also from tomorrow, I think Monday to Friday, I will just do a little bit of practical examples, but I won't go live with you guys. I won't have any Zoom meeting with you guys. I will just record with my phone when I'm about to enter a trade, so that you can see how I'm entering my trade using my MetaTrader 5. Okay, so and also if you want to catch up with my trades, you want to follow up, if you want to follow me up, then you can join my free Telegram channel. Then you can catch my free trades, my weekly call. I do have live sessions with the general Telegram group. Like I think we usually do it every Tuesday and all that. Sometimes I go live also on TikTok. So and I drop lots of educational content on X. So you can check me out and just gain as much knowledge as you can as possible. Now, day two, we are going to discuss about um, day two, we are going to discuss about reading the financial markets. Day two, we are discussing about reading the what? The financial markets. Now, you can see in this picture here, we have two pictures, bulls and bears, right? So this picture signifies the bullish um, trend and it signifies the bearish trend, or it signifies buyers and it signifies what sellers in the markets. Now go down, it says what moves the markets. Now there are two major, or rather, there are three major things that move the market. We have the economic data, we have geopolitics, and we have central banks. Okay, they play a key role in moving the what, in moving the financial what, moving the financial market. I hope I'm recording. Yes, I am. They play a very strong key role in moving the what, in moving the financial market. Now, under trading, you need to understand the type of analysis that we have. But before I discuss about analysis, let's explain what exactly is analysis. So it says analysis is the process of studying the markets to make better trading decisions. Instead of guessing, traders use analysis to understand price movements and identify possible opportunities. There are two main types of analysis, which are the technical analysis and the fundamental analysis. Now, analysis is the process of you studying a particular asset or a particular currency of your choice and you detecting if you are going to look towards buying or if you are going to look towards selling. All right. So that is what analysis is all about. So when you hear a trader tell you that, oh, I want to analyze this particular pair, it means that he's trying to break down that pair to establish his directional bias if he wants to look towards buying or if he wants to look towards selling. Okay, so that process is called analysis. Now, under analysis, we now have two sections, which are the technical analysis and the fundamental analysis. Now, when we talk about technical analysis, it says charts are just price history, nothing magical, key points, market structure, and what pattern. That is, if I go to this area now, you can see my charts. So these things you are seeing in my charts, they are what? The analysis. Okay, now let me go to a very clean area. This is S&P 500. This is indices. Now, as you can see here, if I decide that, okay, I want to buy or I want to sell S&P 500, it means that I need to break down this particular chart. And for my breakdown, for my analysis, I will determine if I want to buy or sell. For example, I bought SP 500. That was last week. I bought from this zone here. I bought from this zone here on the SP 500. A minute, please. Okay, so I bought from this zone on the SP 500. That was last week from this area, and I had this low as a liquidity. Liquidity simply means money. That is something drawing price to itself. Okay, now how was I able to know that price was going to buy from this area? That was because I have already done my analysis. Okay, so analysis, technical analysis has to do with you coming to the charts and you studying these candlesticks, which will give you footprints to looking towards buying or looking towards selling. So that is what technical analysis is all about. All right, now let's go back to um, okay, now we now have what we call fundamental analysis. Now, fundamental analysis has to do with what? News release or economic strengths. Okay, news release or what? Economic strength. And says you don't need to know everything, just know what matters, which are interest rates, inflation, and employment. In other words, fundamental analysis deals with the release of news. That is, a fundamental trader, most of the time, they don't need to do all these analysis that you are seeing here, maybe marking out liquidity, marking out support area, marking out resistance area, marking out your zones, your supply, your demand, stuff like that. Now, as a fundamental trader, you might not necessarily need to do all those things. Why? Because your major focus is the release of news for you to determine whether you are going to buy or if you are going to sell. Now, where do we check for the release of news? We make use of a platform called Forex Factory. Okay, Forex Factory. And also, I told you guys to download some apps. I said you should download FX Book. With FX Book, you can also see some of the news release that we usually have in the markets. Okay, now this is called Forex Factory. What is the use of Forex Factory? We use Forex Factory to check out the release of news. Now, these news usually have impact in our technical analysis. That is, these news usually have impact with these candlesticks that you are seeing here. They usually have impact with it. So when there is a high impact news, it brings or makes the candle to be very aggressive, very huge to a particular direction. For example, this strong candle you are seeing here, you can see how strong and bold this candle is. It is due to the fact that it was released. This was most likely propelled by what? The release of what? An economic data. Okay, now I go back to this Forex Factory. This section here shows the dates. This section here shows the time. This area shows the time. This shows the currency that that particular news is going to affect. This shows the impact of the what? This shows the impact of the what? Of the news. Then this is the type of news that is being released. This shows the dates. This shows the time. This shows the currency that the news will affect. This shows the impact of the news, and this is the type of news. Okay, so the impact of the news, we have three segments for impact of news. First segment is the low impact news. Second one is the medium impact news, and the third one is the high impact news. Now, how can we recognize low impact news? Recognize low impact news by the color. For example, this yellow color signifies a low impact news. The orange color signifies a medium impact news, and the red color signifies a high impact news. Now, when from the word high impact news means that it's going to have a massive impact in those candlesticks that you are seeing in the chart. That it's going to have impact on these candlesticks you are seeing here. Okay, so how you now know if it's going to have a positive impact or a negative impact is now based on forecast and previous. Okay, based on forecast and what and previous. But I'm not a fundamental trader, so I did not pay attention or I don't pay attention to the forecast or to the previous. Why? Because by the end of the day, if you are sound in your technical analysis, you will definitely know where price is going to head to. And also, the fundamental analysis or the fundamentals act as a catalyst to speed up your what your technical analysis. So if price is presenting buys for you, that is, let's say that before price came to this box here, that propelled price to the upside. Now, if they release a particular news, maybe a high impact news, it will just act as a catalyst to speed up price pushing towards a defined direction. Now, what is a catalyst? From chemistry, we understand that catalyst speed up the rate of what? Of chemical reaction, right? They speed up the rate of chemical reaction. So it means that news in trading usually act as what? As a catalyst. So it is as easy as that. Okay, so now let's continue. Um, I've explained fundamental analysis and I've explained technical analysis. Now, under technical analysis, we now have what we call the chart, and I've explained this chart. I've shown you guys the candlesticks before. This is called the line chart. If you don't want to study it using these candlesticks, you can study it using the line chart or you can study it using the bar chart. But the one I would recommend for you to make use of is the candlesticks. Okay, now under candlesticks, This is the type of candlesticks that we have. The green one represents buyers, the red one represents sellers. Now you might want to ask, why is it green and red? It doesn't mean anything. You can decide to change the color if you want. As you can see in my own chart, I have ash and black. Okay, I have ash and black, so it's not the color. It's not something you need to stress about. Now this is how do we now identify these candlesticks? This is a brief explanation of the candlestick's anatomy. Okay, that is the study of what the candlesticks. Now this is the close for a bullish candle. This is a bullish candle, which is the green one. It opens at the bottom and closes at the top. For a bullish candle, it opens at the bottom, meaning that when price opened around this area, sellers try to push the market down, but buyers stepped in and pushed the market all the way to this upside. Sellers try to come in again and market closed around this side. That is why this is the closing price. Then for a bearish candle, it is the reverse of the bullish candle. That is bearish candle opens at the top. Buyers try to push it up. Sellers said no and push it all the way down. Then sellers came up again. Buyers try to push it up, but then because of the presence of sellers were more than buyers, market closed around this area. So what you need to take note about this section is that a bearish candle opens at the top and closes at the bottom, while a bullish candle opens at the bottom and closes at the top. Why this area here, this lower areas here, they are called your upper and lower shadow, or we can call it wicks. W-I-C-K. You can call it what? Wicks. Okay, so I can call this my upper wick and my lower wick. So your weeks just signifies the rejection between buyers and sellers in the markets. Okay, that's simply what we call week in the markets. Now let's take a step further to what market trend. Now I've discussed about market trend, which was discussed yesterday. If I go back to this area, I said we have two types of market trend. We have the bearish market and we have the bullish market. So let's assume that this is what I'm showing you. Let's say this is what I'm showing you. Let's say from this low here to this high. Okay, from this low to this high. What is the trend? The trend is bullish. Why? Because price is creating series of what? Higher highs and higher lows. Okay, series of higher highs and higher lows. Price is creating series of what? Higher highs and higher lows. So this is what a bullish market. Why? Because it is projecting to the upside. So we discussed about this yesterday. Now, based on candlesticks, let me just show you an example. Now, I am currently in 1 hour time frame. So it means that every candle here signifies 1 hour. This is called time frame. If you click in this section here, these are what the different time frame we have in the market. Okay. Now, if I go to 4 hours now, it means that every candle that you see here, it took the candle 4 hours to form. It took the candle 4 hours to form. So each of these candles are formed, or they are formed every 4 hours. Okay, they are formed every 4 hours. Now let us now read the anatomy of this candle. As a practical example, let's read the anatomy. Now, let's start with this candle. I said the bullish candle opens at the bottom and closes at the top. Now, this is where this candle opened from. Opened from which area? From this bottom area. This is the opening of the candle. This is the opening of the candle. Sellers try to push it down. Buyers pushed it up, and the market closed around this area. Okay, market close around what is here. So this is the closing price of this candle. Now the closing price of this candle will be the opening price of the next candle. That is why you see that the next candle opens simultaneously the same area of the closing candle of the previous one. Okay, now look at this. This is a bullish candle too. It closed at this area. You see that the next candle opened exactly the same place where the previous one opened, closed. Same with this, same with this, same with this. Now, in a situation whereby this doesn't happen, that is, the closing price is not the opening price of the next candle, it leads to what we call gap in the market. It leads to what we call what? Gap in the market. That is, there is an imbalance between buyers and sellers. Okay, it means that there is an imbalance between what? Buyers and sellers. Okay, now let's continue. I'm trying to be as shallow as possible so I don't waste time. Now let's go to support and resistance. What exactly is support and what exactly is resistance? Now, support is simply your buying pressure area. That is, support are areas in the market that act as a defense for buyers. Resistance are selling pressure areas, that is areas that act as a defense for sellers. So when we say resistance, a resistance, or okay, from the word, okay, I'm sure for the science students, you did resist, is it resistor? We call it in is it intro tech, and what is that? That's the same law. You see, resistor resists the flow of current, right? Good. Resistor resists the flow of current. So the sense in a resistance resists something from going through it. So if you are in your room, let's say you are currently in class now from your room, if you look up to your ceiling, if you try to jump, you can't scale through it. Why? Because that ceiling or POP is acting as what? It's acting as a resistance, resisting you from what? From moving higher. Then what is making you stand firm is the floor. Your ties or whatever floor you have, that's what is making you stand firm. And that is what is making you not to go more lower to the downside. Okay, so support areas are areas where we look towards buying. Resistance areas are areas where we look towards selling. Now let's now go to the charts for practical example of that. Now look at this. Every areas in the market could either act as support areas or could either act as resistance areas. Okay, every areas in the market could act as support areas or could also act as resistance areas. Um, for instance, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Now, this area, I'll put lines between them. Let me use red line. Let me use a red line to signify that area. Put a red line here. Then I'll put another one. Now, this area, you can see that when price was trying to buy, price was finding it difficult to break above this red line. That shows that this red line is acting as a form of what? A resistance. And you see that when price came here, price bounced off this area to the upside. So that means that this area is acting as a form of what? Support. Now look at this other area here. This area is acting as a form of what? Support. That is why you see that price bounced off this area and rallied to the upside. Now it's worthy for you to note that support areas will turn to resistance and resistance will turn to what? Support. What I mean by that is that this area at a particular point in time acted as a resistance because we had selling pressure from there, right? We had selling pressure from there. Now you see that when price violated that area, we had a what? We had a little pullback, and this pullback is what price used to what? To rally to the upside. So this is a resistance turning to what? A support. Look at this one. This is another example. This is another example. This area acted as a resistance, turning towards support. Did you see resistance? We had selling pressure from here, and support, we had buying pressure from here. So your resistance can turn to support, your support can also turn to what? To resistance. All right, so that is what support and resistance is all about. They help you in knowing places where you move towards buying and places where you move towards what? Selling. Guys, this bootcamp is very powerful. Oh, God. During my own time when I was learning trading, if I had someone that could teach me this thing, it would have saved me a whole lot of stress. You guys don't know what you are joking with. Getting all these things for free. Like for some people will literally charge you for this free class you are getting there. You don't know what you have. But it's fine, Sha. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Now, placing trade on MT5. This is the interface of what MetaTrader 5. Okay, this is an interface of MetaTrader 5. If you've downloaded the MetaTrader 5 platform and you open a demo account, you will see something like this. Now, what is demo account? Demo account is an account that is not real. So whatever money you see in the demo account, it is not withdrawable. Okay, just a practice account where you can practice how to execute your trades. Now, this area here is called, okay, I think I will do a practical on this. So this was the area where I said I'm going to screen record this week. I will screen record my trades for you guys. So if you want to catch up with my trades or you want to test run the whole thing that probably you've learned, what you have to do is to be active in my Telegram, my free Telegram channel. You have to be active there so that when I give out trade, you can always see it yourself and just use it to test run what you've learned so far. Okay, this is what you've learned so far is the basics of Forex. There's nothing else again. This is just the foundation knowledge. This is not a strategy. This is just the foundation knowledge for you to know the basics. Then if you are someone that is an enthusiast, you want to now go deeper, then you now decide that okay, I want to go deeper into this thing. So that in that way, you are no longer a beginner. So I will urge you to practice while you are learning what you are learning. Okay. Now the next one is why most traders fail. Why is it that most traders fail in the world of trading? You notice that they will tell you that it's just about 10% of traders that are profitable in the markets, why 90% are not profitable. Because some people will tell you 20% are profitable, 30% are profitable, but then there are majority of traders that are not yet profitable. Why? One, due to the wrong mindset. So many people. That is why when I started this training with you guys, I started by um, educating you about mindsets. Okay, I started by educating you about mindset so that before you do anything, you know that okay, this is what this thing is all about. This is what this thing entails. Okay, I didn't start by selling dreams to you. I didn't start by telling you, oh, in 2 months we start making money, you start, nothing like that. I told you the real deal, told you what you're about to venture into, told you how volatile what you're about to venture into is. Okay, so for you to understand that, okay, this particular line of hustle, it looks like it has high risks in it. Okay, it is very volatile. Okay, because of the buyers and sellers in the market. But then there is always light. Okay, I'm a full-time trader. This is what I do. I made it through trading. Okay, it was trading that changed my life. But then it didn't start overnight because it is a skill set. I went through the process and then things became better for me because it was what I wanted to do. Okay, so you need to have that desire. You need to have that want for it. Okay, so you don't come into trading because maybe your friend is a trader, or your brother is a trader, or your sister is a trader, or because you have a colleague that trades, then you decide that, oh, you just want to go into trading. No, you will not last long. And that is why there are most people that are not profitable from trading because many people come into trading with the wrong mindset. So make sure that you have the right mindset. If it's what you want to do, give it your all. If it's not what you want to do, don't test the waters. Just let it go and find something else to do. Okay. And another thing that makes traders fail is due to over leveraging. Okay. You notice that some people will go and borrow money. Some people will borrow money from their brother, their sister, because of oh, somebody stole them a dream. Somebody deceived them that oh, bring your money, I'll double this for you in 1 hour, in 2 hours. I know some people will even go and carry loan. Some people go and borrow money. Some people use their school fees to trade. You don't do those things in trading. You don't bring money that you cannot afford to let go in trading. You will not last long. You will definitely fail because there will be too much emotions. You'll be too emotional in executing your trades. Then when you now lose, you now say, this forex is a scam, this thing is a scam. You just did the wrong thing. Okay, over leveraging is very bad in what for traders. So if you want to be a successful trader in few months from now, few years, please mute your mind. If you want to be a successful trader in few months from now, in few years from now, or maybe it depends on you, then you need to avoid over leveraging. And when you've gotten some very good amount of knowledge in trading, you have a good working system, then all you have to do is manage your capital, manage your resources. Okay, if you have $1,000, they are bringing it to trading. You don't just risk the whole $1,000. What you do, you split it. I'm not here to teach risk management, but I'll just brief it to you. So you split it into um, different numbers. For instance, you can be risking $100 for execution, meaning that you have 10 chances, or you can be risking $50 per execution, which will give you 20 chances. So it means that if you lose 20 trades, then you have what successfully blown that particular account. And if you have a good working system and you follow a very good risk management, it will be most likely impossible for you to just lose that 20 trades in a row. But when you come into the market and you risk the whole $500 or you risk the whole $1,000, then that process is called gambling because at that point you are not even following the rules of engagement. All right. So be careful with what you see, be careful with the content you consume, especially as a beginner. Be careful with the content you consume because the early phase determines how far you are going to go. That is just the truth. When you, as a beginner that you guys are now, if you don't filter out what you consume, it will determine how long you are going to attain profitability. All right, so take note of that. Then another thing that makes sure that not to fail is not putting stop loss. especially for beginners. You notice that they enter trade, they don't put stop loss, they just enter the trade. What is stop loss? Stop loss are point of invalidation. That is, I want to enter a trade that exits a trade in this area if price is not going in my direction. For instance, you see this trade I took last week, you see that I had stop loss. This was my point of invalidation. I entered around this area, and my point of invalidation was here. Meaning that if price had come down all the way to this price here, which is 7297.9, then definitely I've lost money. So you should always enter trades with what? Stop loss. Stop loss are point of invalidation. Then this area, this is called stop. This is called target. Target means take profits. That is the price where you want to exit the market when market is going in your favor. Stop loss is the price when you want to exit the market when the market is not going in your favor. So you have to take note of all these things for you to become a better trader for yourself. Okay. Then another thing is emotional bias, letting fear, greed, or hope dictate trading decision instead of following a structured plan. Like I said, fear, greed, and hope is not needed in trading. Greed, fear, and hope is not needed in trading. In trading, you need to have a plan. You need to have a blueprint. You need to have a structure or structures of things that has been put in place for you to attain profitability. It is a business, so you need to treat it as a business. You don't treat trading as a hobby. It is not, we're not here to catch cruise. We're not here. I'm not doing what I'm doing because I want to catch cruise. No, I'm doing it because it is a business. Okay, I am trading because I want to make money from trading and use it to solve my what? My problems. You also come into trading because you want to make money and use it to solve your problem. So as a beginner, make sure you don't lose focus of the things that are vital to you. And what is the most vital things in trading? To make money. That is your goal. You are trading because you want to be a successful trader and you want to use trading to solve problems. So if you come to trading because of hobby or because you are bored or because you don't have anything doing at that particular time frame, then definitely go find something else to do so that you will not waste your time, you will not waste your money, and eventually you will not still find your path. So take note of all these things. This is why most traders usually fail. All right, now let's go to the next one. Golden rule for survival. It says never risk more than 1 to 2% of your total account balance on any trade. Now, this is a bit, how would I put it now? This is a bit relative. Okay, the golden rule of survival is a bit relative because we are not built the same. We are not built the same. You might have a very high risk tolerance level, and I might have a low risk tolerance level. Now, if I have a low risk tolerance level, it means that I won't have the ability to be taking much risk. I might not have enough resources, which might limit me from taking the risk that I'm supposed to take. Our pockets will never be the same, right? Some people come into trading with more with money that is they are already rich, they already have money, and some people come into trading without money. So you guys will never be at the same level. So recognize yourself, assess yourself, and tell yourself the truth. Then, when you assess yourself and you know that okay, I have enough at my disposal, then of course you can always risk 1 to 2% of your account. But if you don't have enough at your disposal, then what you need to do is to take it slow. So you can always risk 0.5% of your account. And then you build, compound till you've gotten a tangible amount of money and then you scale up from there. All right. So that is the golden rule of survival. You say it protects your capital to stay in the game. All right. So when you have money, that is when you can call yourself a trader. When you can wake up in the morning to analyze the market, you analyze it because you have money in your brokerage account to trade. If you don't have money in your brokerage account, there is no how you can trade. Okay. So always make sure that you are protecting your capital at every point in time. Now, emotions in trading, where this is where I spoke about fear and the rest. So if you can read through this is just all about fear, and the rest. Now, common mental traps in trading. Now, these are traps in trading. We have revenge trading, over trading, and analysis paralysis. Now, what is revenge trading? Revenge trading is when you hit stop loss, but you don't want to you don't want to rest. Okay, you've been invalidated, your directional bias was wrong, but then you are still trying to enter the market, make money, and you keep losing money. Okay, you don't know when to stop. So, as beginners or as newbies, always know when to call it a day, know when to rest. Okay, you can always tell yourself, okay, today or every day, I don't want to lose more than 2 trades. So anything that makes me lose more than 2 trades, I will close my laptop and go and do something else. Okay, so you always have a risk that is assigned for that particular day. Treat it as a what? As a business. Then the next one is overtrading. The overtrading is when, let's say your first trade was a winner, you made 5% of your account. Let's say you had let's say $10,000. 5% of $10,000 is what? I think that's $500 or so. So let's say you make $500, which is 5%. That is enough for you to, just withdraw your money and rest. But then you decide that no, you've seen gold set up, you want to enter gold, you want to enter silver, you want to enter Bitcoin. And by the end of the day, that money that you made, you eventually deposited it back to what? To the market. That is, market collected what it gave to you. So know when to exit the market. Okay. So as beginners, the mindset you should have is whenever you make profit, pull out your money. Okay, whenever you make profits, pull out your what? Your money and use that money to solve real life situation. So that is how to trade the right way. So you will not be making money and you'll be leaving it in your empty file. Oh, because of you saw somebody that flip maybe $100 to $10,000, you want to reciprocate the same. I'm not saying it is not possible. It is very much possible. There's nothing impossible in trading. That's the fact. There's nothing impossible in this line of hustle. But then be smart about it and try to do things the right way. Then analysis paralysis has to do with you overcomplicating the charts. Okay, this one is a little bit technical. You have to get to some level of understanding before you can even understand what analysis paralysis is all about. All right. Now let's take a step further. It's almost time for my space, so I will need to proceed further. The blueprint for success. Now, a strategy is a fixed set of rules that tells you exactly where to enter, when to exit, and how to manage risks. Now, what this blueprint of success means is that as a beginner, you need to understand that you need a system, you need a strategy, you need something that has been proven for you to make profit from the market. Meaning that if you want to make your journey short for yourself, you need to go and check for a strategy that suits your psychology. We are not the same. Everybody can never be the same. There are some people that like my system of trading. Some people will not like my system of trading. Some people will prefer another trader system of trading. Whatever system of trading you want to choose for yourself, you have the right to make your decision. But make sure that at least you stick to one strategy. And as a beginner, don't be jumping from one strategy to another strategy. You will make your journey very, very long. Please don't make the mistake that we made, because definitely I started trading before most of you guys here. So don't make the same mistake. Try to learn from other people's mistakes. Because if you listen to other traders' mistake or how they became profitable, you can learn from that so that you will not make the same mistake. There are people that have been trading for 5 years and they are still not profitable. Why? Because they keep hopping from one strategy to another. Trading is all about consistency. How consistent you are in doing something will determine how far you will go in that thing. So if you are not consistent, if you find it hard to be disciplined, trust me, this blueprint of success will be far from you. Okay, so if you want to be a successful trader, always stick to one strategy. And I can assure you, if you stick to one very good strategy that is proven to work, you will definitely be profitable. There is no juju in this one. There is no matter of voodoo or anything anybody wants to do. You will definitely make it on the market. That is how it is. Okay, do what you are supposed to do, and you will definitely achieve what you want to achieve. Now, trading without a strategy is gambling. Yes, for instance, imagine I come to the chart like this. I just come to the charts and I'm buying from this area where price is at. That is gambling. That is gambling. That's why some people will tell you that trading is also a form of gambling. Yes, they are not wrong. Because when you don't analyze, that process is called gambling. You just fund your MetaTrader 5 and you enter by yourself. You are gambling. Because at that point in time, you did not do any analysis. Remember, I discussed what analysis is to you guys, right? When we started the class, I discussed analysis. Now, you did not do any analysis, you did not mark your support area, you didn't mark your resistance area, you didn't check out for imbalance, you didn't check out for liquidity, you don't know your directional bias, blah, blah, blah. Then that means you are what? You are gambling. So when you have a strategy, then it means you are not what gambling, because every strategy has a blueprint. Okay, every strategy have a blueprint. And now this is my own strategy. Okay, now my strategy is actually structure in relation to HRC. All right, and I'll be giving you guys a discount. Okay, I'm giving you a discount if you want to do your research about me. I'll drop my social media handles. I'll drop my Telegram handles. So of course, you can watch my videos in my Telegram. Scroll up, you see as many videos as possible. Even when I started the Telegram group. All right. So if you want to learn more, you want to know more about trading, and of course, you can always plug in to my mentorship. I'm giving you guys a discount of $100. Okay, normally my mentorship is $200, I think this is a mistake. It's meant to be $200. Okay, but then it's worth more than that. That is just the truth because my mentorship is a lifetime mentorship, a lifetime mentorship. But since you guys I'm giving you guys a discount of $100, I'm going to make it a 6 month mentorship. I wanted to make it 4 months or even 3 months, but then I'll make it a 6 month mentorship because you guys are newbies, you are beginners, and you need time to assimilate things, right? So I'm giving you guys for $100. 100 what? $100. So it includes one-on-one and group sessions with me. All right. Real-time live trading experience. I go live with my students every Tuesday and every Thursday. We go to the market to look out for possible trades, we execute together. Then we usually have weekly breakdown, which is every Monday or Sunday. Weekly outlook, we come to the market, insights, lectures, and the rest. Then guidance on passing prop firms. So prop firms fund traders. So if you are someone that don't have much capital, you don't have much money to trade, prop firm can be used as a form of leverage for you to catapult yourself to the next level. All right. Then access to serious community of skill traders. Yes, my community of paid members. This one is not the free members. Paid members. There are a lot of skill traders there that know what they are doing. So you have access to a very hardworking community that is there to help you. Okay, now what will you master? You understand the why of trading. Okay, that is building the right trading mindset, and also you learn how to trade towards the money, which is called PPPM. All right. So I trade towards the money. I trade towards liquid area. So you are going to learn how to do that. You are going to learn about the way in the market, which is market structure, imbalance, key zones, and you also learn about the when in the market, which is precise entry, timing, and execution. So this is where I'm going to end the boot camp for you guys. So I believe it has been a very much educative journey, and I believe you guys have learned a whole lot. I have given you the foundational knowledge, so you don't need to pay. I'm not forcing you, okay? If even if you want to learn from somebody else, okay, you don't need to pay any money for any beginner's knowledge anymore. You've gotten the foundation, okay, and also the video will be in the Telegram channel, so you can always watch it as many times as possible. I am not removing you from the Telegram. I might close the WhatsApp group because I don't want any form of spamming there. I might close the WhatsApp group in the later on. Maybe I might just give it 1 week or 2 weeks and I'll just close the group. But the one in Telegram will always be there. So you can always have access to it. You always have access to what? To the videos. Watch it as many times as possible. Soak yourself inside. And if you like it, if you like trading and you want to venture into trading, then of course pick a mentor. All right, pick a mentor. Don't try to say you can learn it all by yourself. Yes, you can learn it yourself. Everything is also there on YouTube. You can learn on YouTube, but you cannot learn my own style on YouTube. It's just a fact, right? But there are different strategies on YouTube. There are so many things that you can learn yourself. But if you want your journey to be shorter, then of course get a mentor. Pick any mentor of your choice. There are diverse traders out there, and also know that there are scammers out there. So be careful. Do your research very well and pick the person that you know that I like how this person teach. I like how he put up, and I resonate with this person. Then pick the person, pay the person, and then try the person will make your journey shorter. And always note, in as much as you are picking the mentor, note that you as the mentee also need to put in the work. You have to also work for you to attain profitability. All right, so that is all I have for you guys today. So the discount is $100, which will last for I think I'll give you guys the ending of this month. Yes, I'll give you guys the ending of this month. But I already have some students I'm teaching already. I don't have that much time to bring in new persons. You guys are newbies, not like you already know what you're doing. Okay, so it's going to last the ending of the month. After ending of the month, I am not collecting $100 anymore. So if you come to my DM to ask me, oh, you now have the $100, I will not collect it. Okay, so just take note of that. Okay, so that is all I have for you guys. If you have any question, you can ask me right now. So, any question?
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
I have a question concerning yesterday, though.
Okay, so what's that?
So I wanted to ask because I've been learning trading for some time, though. So I
All
wanted
right.
to ask you. I wanted to ask you that you spoke about higher highs and higher lows, lower lows
Mhm.
and lower highs. So I wanted to ask if you are able to identify higher highs, higher lows, lower highs. If you are able to identify it well, can you go into trading?
Uh, the higher low is just the basics. That's just basics because let me show you something. We have advanced structures. We have advanced structure. Now, what I just showed you guys, this higher low, this is just the foundational knowledge. Okay, this is just foundational knowledge. In the real sense, this is not how market presents itself. You notice that market gives you more complex structures. Structures like this. Let me clear the charts. Now look at this. Can you see how complex this is? This one said is even trending. This is trending. Now, can you see how complex this structure is? Can you see that it is not just moving in one specific direction? Even this one is
Yeah.
trending. This is even trending. Let me show you something a little bit complex. Now look at Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin. Now, can you see this is an example of gap? This is an example of gap. Okay, this is an example of gap. Now, can you see how these structures, how they are? This is the complexities of market structure. Victory, you are raising your hand. Just be patient, please. Okay, this is the complexity of market structure. Okay, so it is not just about you knowing how to mark higher highs and higher lows. Yes, it's good if you know how to mark higher highs and higher lows, but that is still a foundational knowledge because it is not only by your higher highs and higher lows that you determine the price you buy yourself. You need a blueprint. You need to understand imbalance. You need to know what is moving the market. You need to know how buyers and sellers overlap. You need to know how to generate signals. All right. So there are things that you use, which is called strategy. So it is when you now have a solid strategy, you have a solid plan. That is when you can now say, okay, yes, I can start trading. But if you know how to identify higher highs and higher lows, that is just the first step. Do you understand? So it's just like the basic knowledge in trading. It is not a strategy, it's just a basic knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other question? You can ask me. You guys can ask me before my space. And always ask. I'm free. I'm free. From tomorrow, I can't have any session with you guys again. I'm giving you guys a
Okay.
wealth of knowledge. So make the best use of this opportunity right now. So ask question.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
What strategy do you think is best for a beginner like
Okay.
me?
Very, very smart, intelligent question. I love this your question. Very, very intelligent question. Now, my brother, let me see your name. There is no best strategy in trading. Don't allow anybody to deceive you. Don't allow anybody to deceive you. That is why when when I ended this bootcamp, I told you, okay, my mentorship, blah, blah, blah. But I did not tell you, oh, my mentorship is the best, right? I told you, you have the right to do your own research. Pick anybody of your choice. There is no one way to buying or selling. There are diverse ways. There are diverse strategies out there. Trust me, diverse, so many. If you want me to list some for you, I can list it for you, right? I can list them for you. But there are so many, my brother. So many. This one will tell you, and this one, another person will tell you this one, this one will tell you this one. It is left for you to decide and pick a mentor that you trust. And you know that, yes, this person has a track record. This person, people that put themselves out there that show their face, it is hard for them to do something and just run away with it. Do you understand? So you look for somebody that this person face is out there. This person is showing is his or herself. Do you understand? This person has Twitter account. This person is on Instagram. You can see the person face. As long as you're in Nigeria, they'll find you. That is just the fact. So as long as the person is putting his face out there, you are in Nigeria, they will definitely find you. You can't run anywhere. That is just how it is. Okay, so make sure that you look for a very good mentor. Trust me, as a beginner, it's very difficult. You will most likely, if you are not careful, you might put your hand in the wrong set of people because the industry right now is polluted a bit, and there are so many people that are just after your money. If you are not careful, some people are just there. They will sell you dream. The dream they will sell for you. Even you might even give them $10,000. Do you understand? But just make sure that you pick somebody that you like. You need to like your mentor. Like the person. Like if the person gives you time, also as a beginner, you need a mentor that can give you this or time. Time is very paramount because you cannot learn everything in 1 month. You can't learn trading in 1 month. You can't finish learning trading in 2 months. Do you understand? So just take note of those things. If you can take note of those things, any strategy can give you profitability in as much as you put your mind to trading and that strategy has verified track record. Okay, and you know people that are making money from this strategy. Okay, okay, these mentor students, are they profitable? Are they making profits? So those are the things that you look out for as a beginner so that you not fall into the hands of the wrong traders. Okay, so that is that for that.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Next question. Ask your question.
Okay, good evening, Casey. Good evening,
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah. So my question is, can you recommend a broker for someone that wants to start for like a beginner to
Yes. Now, are
start?
you guys not in the
No,
WhatsApp?
no. Sorry. I'm not talking about. I meant for prop firm.
Okay, for prop firm. Oh, okay. Send me message. I will send you my prop firm that I use. I don't want to mention their name because I'm no longer affiliated with them anymore. So I don't want to promote them by mistake. Do you understand?
Okay.
Eh,
Okay.
I'm not in,
Okay.
I was once affiliated with them. I was once in partnership with them, but I'm no longer in partnership with them anymore. But they are legit. Like they will pay you any amount you need. They will pay you. So you send me a DM, I'll give you the name of the prop firm to make use of.
Okay. Thank you very much, Casey.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So any question again? Any question? Ask. Ask your question. So I'll end the meeting if there's no question in the next 5 minutes. All right. So I'll drop
I'm
my.
trying to reach you on Telegram.
Okay. You can reach me on Telegram. You can also reach me
Okay.
on WhatsApp to make it easier for yourself. You have my number there already. I'm the admin in the group, so you can always reach out to me. If you want to reach out to me on Telegram, join my free Telegram channel. That is my channel. Yeah, I think we are about almost 1,000 subscribers there. Okay, so you can connect with me if you like, consume my content. I drop a whole lot of content related to trading, both educational, both psychology. I drop a whole lot on my Instagram, on my TikTok, both technical analysis. So you have a lot to learn. There are so many people that they are looking learning from me. So I'm just here to give out knowledge and it's not that deep now. It's not that deep. So that's just it. Just make sure that you don't fall into the hands of the wrong people. Be careful, guys. As a beginner, so many people want to take leverage of you. Just be careful and do your research very well. Right? Any other question? Any other question? Marquis, you came late. What happened? What happened? Day two, I did not see you day one. Marquis. All right. So, any other question? Any other question? Am I able to go? Guys, am I able to go? So, discount of $100 if you're interested. That's the discount I can give you. Ending of May, not no discount anymore. All right. So, am I good to go, guys? Am I good to go? Good to go.
Yeah, so can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. The question is actually for some of us that maybe this close to being able to pay the $100, the discount price.
Yeah.
Do we have a chance of paying twice?
No. Hey. No. 100, I've discounted everything already. Do you get? I've discounted it.
All
I'm
right.
not even
All
supposed
right.
to. Yeah. Ask my students. They paid 300,000. Yeah, they paid 300,000, which is 200. Some people even paid more. Do you get? So this is just. I'm not even supposed to do this. Trust me, because the whole stress, putting up all these things, and some people will not even value it. Most people actually will not even value it because see how many people turned up. So it's free, so they won't really value it. Feel me? So no two payments for this. Just straight $100. If you have it, fine. If you don't have it, that's okay. Do you understand? There are other traders out there. You can learn on YouTube. You can learn trading anywhere. All right. So good luck, good trading, and see you guys on the profitable side. And I'll be leaving now. Bye for now.